What's happening, wrestling fans? This is Kenny Cummins here of Chilling with Kenny C, right here on TMV Cafe, bringing you entertainment to your ears. I gotta get the wrestling interviews every now and then, because that is one of the things that I know and love. Like this lovely lady that I'm joined, and we go way back. I know her as a wrestler. I know her as a podcaster. I know her as a co-owner, co-founder of Square Circle Expo, which is a convention out of Indianapolis. And now I know her as a promoter slash booker of a drag and wrestling extravaganza known as Power Pro Pride Wrestling, taking place on November the 21st at Cincinnati, Ohio, my beloved old stomping grounds. I'm joined with the one and only hardcore Heather Owens. How's it going?
It's great, Kenny. How have you been?
I'm doing all right. Just great to interact with you on any
Yeah,
any occasion. See, it seems like ever since she's moved on from wrestling for the most part. I either see her at a wrestling at this expo, or I see her at a random hip hop concert. That's no in between. I see her at one of these events.
ex
Uh,
yeah. I love it. We always run into each other at the most random. I mean, I guess really not that random
yeah,
because I'm huge into hip hop and rap and stuff, and of course wrestling. And in wrestling, when you retire, there's really no retirement. So
yeah,
even though I'm not wrestling anymore, I still have to have my hands in the mix of it.
yeah, pretty much. So this is year number three
Yes.
of Power Pro Pride Wrestling. So you've been around wrestling for a long time. You've had your experiences with good promoters, bad promoters.
Yes.
I mean, you can write a book about all that at this point. Uh, but man, when you started year number one, did you think that it was going to lead to year three?
No, I did not. And I just remember how stressed out I was for year one. I was like, I'm never going to run another one. It's so intense. But I mean, the wrestlers loved it, the fans. I mean, so many people just was like, Heather, you have to have a second one. I'm like, all right, well, talk to me in a year. So then a year rolls around. And so this is all backed by Cincinnati Pride. Cincinnati Pride came to me and we started this. And after the first year, they're like, Heather, you got to do another one. I'm like, okay. So then we did another one. And it's the same thing. Each year it's getting bigger, it's getting, more eyes are seen on it. So it's not just wrestling fans, it's not, you know, uh, drag fans. I'm taking two different types of people and bringing them together because I've had so many people, like old ladies sitting in the front row from wrestling shows, and they're like, Heather, I've never been to a drag show. This is the greatest, funnest thing ever. So it's just merging the two and showing everyone that like wrestling and drag, it's very similar if you break it down. So, and I just want to, promote positivity, no hate, just come on, everybody, it's all entertainment. It's to have a good time.
Yeah, absolutely. I've never been to a drag show before, but what I do know, I know some friends within that realm,
Hmm.
and they talk about the entertainment aspect, just getting crowd excited and just, whatever stress or whatever pain and suffering they're going through leading up to the show, it goes away when everybody just getting all excited.
Yeah,
And wrestling is literally the same thing. It's like any other sport. It's
yeah,
it takes away the pain, the stress that you've had, um, the day of
exactly.
or whatever. So
As soon as the music hits, whether you're a wrestler or a drag queen, like you're on. You go from reality, working a 9 to 5 job to a whole new world. You got to squeeze into your tights and put on, you know, face paint or makeup and hit. You have to present yourself, to the fans. And, so both of them, it's a whole different world going from the 9 to 5 to the 5 to 8 or whatever. So,
Yeah, so it's quite an event. I'm glad things have worked out well for everyone involved. I'm glad that fans and sponsors and Cincinnati Pride in particular,
mhm.
pretty much saying we got to keep this going. We got to strike the irons hot. So it's a wonderful thing to see. I've always admired you as a wrestler, as a performer, and as a human being. And when I heard that you was doing this, I was like, "Ooh, Heather, she's gonna knock it out the park." This is the wrestling aspect is right up her alley. Like she knows what works and what doesn't work, and you gather so much talent from Ohio to Indiana to tri-state area, and all these sponsors are on board. And to see it turn out the way that it has is awesome. And if you haven't been to a show like this, I don't think you're ever gonna go as far as Ohio or Kentucky or anywhere. You're not gonna go to an event that is this inclusive. So go check it out. Power Pro Pride Wrestling, November 21st, Wingisbury, Cincinnati, Ohio. Little Birdie told me that there's about less than 6 tickets of first row left. So if you want to get that close, because you know how fans are, they always feel the need to be this close to the action. Get your tickets for this event. And I see some familiar faces on this show. I love me some Super Oprah. I love her. She is a hoot. So,
Well, 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 well,
yeah,
first of all, Kenny, thank you so much for the kind words. But
yeah,
my big thing is, I just want to be a good human.
yeah,
There's just so much hate and just nonsense out there. Life's short. Don't like have fun. If you don't like something, how do you know you don't like it? At least give it a shot.
yeah.
Try something new. So that's my big thing, always the big positive person. But when it comes to Super Oprah,
Hmm.
that broad. So me and Super Oprah, we've gone back many years.
Hmm.
So I've been in the ring with her a few times. Mm. She will rough you up, and I may have, pulled off a wig or two, but and actually Super Oprah will be in the main event this year because
Hmm.
last year she got involved in one of the drag queens performances and ripped her wig off.
Oh no.
Yes, so Miss Chorus Line is now in the main event making her wrestling debut in a tag match against Super Oprah. So it is going to be insane because you know how Super Oprah is. And
Yes.
just imagine that with with a drag queen on the other side. So
Oh my
it's going to
goodness.
be crazy.
Yeah, Super Oprah, from my experience, she is she's witty. She's
She
very,
a
very
hot
witty.
mess. Just say it. She a hot
God
mess.
mess. Okay. Okay, she is.
Yeah, but she
She
will fully take that.
yeah, so that's pretty cool. Like you got someone in the main event, and this is their in wrestling debut, like literally wrestling debut. So that's pretty amazing.
Yeah, and I
Um
mean, she's a big deal around Cincinnati as a drag queen. She was actually Miss Cincinnati Pride
mhm,
2024. So she led the Pride Parade.
yeah.
Like she was like the grand marshal and everything. So Cora Line is like top dog. So I think she's going to put some extra butts in the seats. So, and I
Hmm.
am okay with that. I don't think anybody's going to be there to see Super Oprah win.
Oh
So people are
no.
going to be there to
Oh
see Super
no.
Oprah get her ass beat.
No. See, I'm like maybe I'm just a. This is like me watching reality TV shows, VH1 in particular. Okay,
Right?
and when look, there's some things you don't do to a woman. Grabbing them by the hair is the last thing you want to do. I don't care what environment. I don't care if it's provoked, unprovoked. That's
Mm-hmm.
something that you don't do
Mm-hmm.
because, especially in Cora's case or Oprah's case,
Mm-hmm.
you're just asking for an ass whooping.
Yeah.
That's just what you. That's what
Yeah,
you.
that's some
Yeah,
wretched shit right there. Like
yeah.
you don't do that.
Yeah. So this so that's a story boiling with those
Yeah.
two, and that's gonna be quite the main event of an already incredible card. So yeah, so there are some familiar faces on the
Mm-hmm.
show. There's some returnees and
Mm-hmm.
there's some first timers. Now, one person that's really got my attention, totally plastic finesse.
Yes.
So that person is from HBO's We're Here season 4. Um,
Yes.
I'm fanatic.
Yeah,
That's
I'm like super excited for that one personally. Like I don't want
yeah,
to have, I don't want to like pick sides or anything, but
yeah.
that was a personal one. I love the show. When I saw the episode, I was like, "Oh, it's a wrestler." So automatically I was like, I have to have them for my Pride Wrestling show. So
Uh,
I was lucky enough to Cincinnati to do the show. They're out of Tennessee. So I have wrestlers from Tennessee and Indiana, Kentucky, Ohio. Oh my gosh. Yeah, so it's really exciting to have some new faces. We have some originals that have been there all three shows.
mhm,
Um, Cameron Saturn, who is
yeah,
actually going against Finesse.
mhm,
So that's exciting. And then yeah, we just have very few. Gigi, the queer Billy, Gigi Jacobs. So yeah, it's really exciting just to kind of have the mix and I do try to change it up, because you don't want to see the same thing every time. So, trying to get different group of people while keeping some of the favorites. And so, the drag queens too, you want to change them up. So you got some originals, you got some fresh faces, but regardless, it's going to be a great time.
yeah. It's definitely going to be a great time. Check it out, November 21st, out there in Cincinnati. Get your tickets. If you haven't already, the first row seats are closing in or being sold out.
Yes.
They're definitely gonna be sold out by the day of the show. Let's just
Absolutely. So
let that yeah.
the last 2 years, we've sold out first and second row. Before weeks before the show,
Hmm.
and really that's the only seats because of how it's in a brewery,
Yeah,
so the seats are only first and second row. Everything else is general admission, it's standing room.
yeah,
So front row is only $20. That's insane for a wrestling show. So it's cheap, it's affordable, it's at a brewery, so you can go grab a beer while you watch.
yeah,
And general admission is $10. That's as much as a Starbucks. Like, come on, you got
yeah.
$10. So
Yeah.
come out, and it's the Thursday before Thanksgiving. So,
Yeah.
you can kind of start pre-gaming for that
Pre-game. Yeah,
day.
there
And
you
you
go.
might have the days off. And so it's
Yeah.
good. I'm so excited.
Yeah. So we can call it a pre-game tradition, a
Yeah.
pre-Thanksgiving tradition of
Yeah.
sorts. So you got something going here.
Yeah, I'm
Come,
trying.
so yeah, you're doing it. So it is a fun show. It's always been a fun show. So support it. It's all for a great cause. You get a chance to see some different talent. You get a chance to see people that you may not have seen up in other promotions. It is inclusive of a show that you're ever going to see all 20, not just all year, but any other promotion.
Right. And
So
that's what we strive on is all the wrestlers, all the queens, they all fall under the rainbow. So gay, lesbian, trans, bi, non-binary,
Yeah,
they're all booked. So a lot of times you won't, you wouldn't see these wrestlers, but it's a safe space. And
yeah,
that's the greatest thing that we can do right now is showcase the wrestlers and the queens and just have a fun time.
yeah. It's definitely a show that a lot of people don't want to miss. So it's Power Pro Pride Wrestling, November 21st, Winges, Fury. Get your tickets. It's on the event page. And just keeps on with the good times, and it's a fun show. So go and all shout out to all the sponsors that's on,
Yes.
including Square Circle Expo. Uh,
Obviously. But
so
yeah,
yeah,
we got some new sponsors, we got some old sponsors.
yeah,
I mean, we really couldn't do it without the sponsors, without the wrestlers. So we really appreciate, anybody that, donates or just, shares the event.
yeah, absolutely, man. I've always been fond of Cincinnati. I've lived there. My family lived there before moving to Kentucky.
Mm-hmm.
And I've reconnected with Cincinnati just a few years ago. And it just happens to be around the same time that you started this new journey of being a promoter, being a booker.
Mm-hmm.
You the putting the pieces together. You like putting the puzzle in there. So I love Cincinnati.
So many puzzle pieces.
Yeah, so many puzzle pieces indeed. I'm looking forward to hearing everything about this event. I'm looking forward to the talent, just putting on a great show. And there's so much good talent on there. So it's gonna be a fun show. I just so you know, on the Square Circle side of things. So
Yes.
I've been to all four events. I've been there for the last 2 years. I've been to both nights.
Okay.
Next year, I'll be at. Not only am I going to be at both nights, but I got the expensive
The
VIP.
VIP?
I got the VIP this
Yes.
time. I don't leveled up. I don't
Oh,
graduate.
because you've seen what the VIPs get. Like we
Yeah,
give the VIP super treatment. So
yeah,
yes, I'm excited that you've stuck around for all of them.
yeah,
There's only been a handful of guests that have, you guys that have came to every single one.
yeah,
So thank you
yeah.
for coming to that.
Yeah, I mean, you told me about this long before pandemic, and if it wasn't for the pandemic, this would have been year six. We're in year five.
We don't
Uh,
want to talk. We don't want to talk. We don't want to talk
yeah,
about 2020.
yeah,
Nah.
yes, yeah, but
Yeah,
I
yeah,
get
yeah.
it.
That yeah.
I get it. But look, I'm looking forward to it. Be on the lookout for the guest announcements. It's coming.
It's coming. It's come. I
So
promise. I
yeah.
promise. Somebody's making phone calls in the other room right now. So things will be coming out soon for Squared Circle Expo. But yeah,
Man.
so it's the household. We're both retired from wrestling, but
Mhm.
it never ends. So
I mean,
we
I
still love
know,
it.
yeah, yeah. I know you said you were tired, but you have
I'm
wrestled
tired.
at the expo a couple times.
So in wrestling, there really is no retirement because how many times have
Yeah,
Hulk Hogan retired, The
yeah.
Rock, John Cena? So since my official retirement, which
Hmm.
was February 2nd, 2000, no, 1990, no, 2000, 2019.
Yeah,
Lord, it's been a long day.
yeah.
So that's 5 years. I think I've wrestled three, maybe times. And
Hmm.
yes, it was for Squared Circle because you know, I can do that. I'm the booker.
Yeah,
I can put myself in the match.
yes, you can.
But yeah, and then I did a battle royal for my friend that passed away. So, I'm very selective with my retirement, but my body and my medical bills tell me that I should stay retired.
Gotcha. Hey, honestly, hey, I wouldn't mind seeing Heather wrestle more if whatever she's able to, but you mentioned the medical
Yeah,
aspect to it, so I understand. You
but
know,
maybe a match once every couple years, that's a lot doable than three times a week is what I was doing. So
Okay.
still no retirement. I'm
Yeah,
retired.
gotcha. I hear you loud and clear. I hear you. Look, it's your body. You do what you want, and I respect it. Regardless, you've
Yep.
contribute.
And you gotta listen. You gotta listen to your body sometimes. And it's
Yeah,
saying, Heather, you should stop falling down. So
yeah. But this is so good to have you on and chat with you. Check out Power Pro Pride Wrestling, November 21st, Winges Brewery in Cincinnati, Ohio. Get your tickets. The first row seats on the verge of selling out, and then there's $10 for general admission, which is pretty much you standing for a couple of
yeah.
hours. So,
So if you want to
uh,
sit down and drink,
yeah,
you better get one of those front row or second.
yeah, pretty
If not, you're gonna be
much.
standing around and hooting and hollering.
Who's standing around hooting and hollering? Yeah. So yeah, just saying. And props to any promoters that gives you the warning about the rows, seats, and things like that, because not everybody does it. Because
No, you have to be transparent.
be transparent.
Let people know.
Yeah, as a wrestling fan, I appreciate the transparency,
Yeah.
regardless. So
See, because I've been there. So I understand. As a
yeah,
wrestling fan, that's why I try to make this show
yeah,
as amazing as possible.
yeah, absolutely. So good having you on, Heather. Thank you so
Yeah.
much for your time. And looks like unless we run into each other before between now and then,
Well,
it
here's the
looks like
question.
okay.
Here's the question.
Um,
So, are you going to Ja Rule at Bogarts? That's in December. No, I lied. Juvenile.
um, I haven't decided on that yet.
Okay. So that is a confirmed concert for me. So I will be there. That's my last
Okay.
concert of the year. So we may
Yeah,
run into each other then. If
yeah,
not, I'll definitely see you at Square Circle.
yeah. I will. So I will see Ti at
Oh, okay.
Lexington. That's one of his next to last concerts. He's had confirmed
Oh,
that he's done as performance side. So
that
that's
he's retired, straight
yes. There we go.
retirement.
Retired as a performer.
Right.
So yeah, that's that's a
All right.
reoccurring thing. But you take
Mm-hmm.
care, Heather.
Yes, you too,
You
Kenny.
enjoy the rest of your week, enjoy the rest of
Yeah,
your year, and we'll see each other one way or another. I think.
exactly. All
Yeah.
right. See you later. Thanks.
All right. Bye bye. All
Bye.
right.